Hello everybody, my name is Joshua Mora. Today we're going to be looking at workplace motivation and what goes into it. Okay, so more specifically, we're going to be taking a look at McClelland's achievement motivation theory. According to David McClelland, workers can be motivated by a couple of motives. McClelland outlines the need for achievement, the need for power, and the need for affiliation as the three overarching motives in the workplace. Individuals who have the need for achievement are motivated by tasks and accomplishing goals. People with the need for power want to be in a position of leadership where they can be in control and direct others. And finally, individuals with the need for affiliation are driven by the need to be liked and accepted by others. So, for my case study, I included a situation that I witnessed firsthand at my job. I work at a physical therapy clinic in Corona del Mar, and we have a very small staff. It consists of 3 aides, one office manager, one business manager, and one therapist. We all have pretty close relationships and have a free-flowing work environment. So everyone kind of helps each other out with no real enforcing of rules or nothing like that, because everyone kind of knows what's going on. So a couple months ago, our office manager quit because he started grad school this year. So this opened up a position that could be filled by 2 qualified aides, either Miles or Scott. So let's start with Scott. Scott has been an employee of the company for over 5 years and is loved by everybody. Patients, coworkers, and bosses go on and on about how great of a person he is. Kid you not, Scott is absolutely adored. Okay, so Miles has only been with the company for 2 years and has shown considerable drive and potential in his tenure with the company. He began as a volunteer and later was offered a position based on his work ethic and dedication to the field. Now he's one of the best aides at the clinic and helps out with front office stuff, insurance stuff, and other parts of just keeping the clinic running effectively. After careful consideration, Brian, the business manager, decided to give the promotion to Miles, even though Scott was just as qualified and technically had seniority over Miles. This decision actually ended up having a noticeable effect on Scott because his work performance suffered a bit and you can tell he was no longer motivated. So, before we go on, let's take a look once again at McClelland's theory so we can get a little more insight on what each aspect is kind of responsible for. So, McClelland tells us that the need for achievement is highlighted by goal attainment. So these individuals are motivated solely by the desire to accomplish goals and are actively trying to challenge themselves. Individuals who exhibit the need for power are more concerned about their status within the company than the direction of or success of that said company. So these people would rather pursue prestige instead of challenge themselves. And last, McClelland tells us that those with the need for affiliation are motivated by the desire to be liked by others. They prioritize interpersonal relationships and prefer to do cooperative as opposed to competitive work. So, could either of these three aspects or needs for motivation have an explanation as for why Scott showed a decrease in his motivation after not receiving the promotion? So, shifting slightly over, first we're going to talk about an empirical study done by Derek Walker and Smithers Guinevere. So, the title of the study was The Effect of the Workplace on Motivation and Demotivation of Construction Professionals. So, this article took a look at the relationship between workplace environment and motivation. The research question the authors posed was, what effect would changes in the workplace have on the motivation and demotivation of construction professionals? Walker and Guinevere split the participants up into to 2 groups to be slightly manipulated. The authors meant to observe if changes to work hours or management style would affect motivation. So first, some workers were asked to work 1 to 4 hour shifts, and others were asked to work 6 to 8 hour shifts. The study went on to show that there was actually no relationship between work hours and motivation. So no matter how long the workers were on the actual job site, there seemed to be no correlation. Oh, I should mention as well. For this study, Guinevere and Walker used a Likert scale. So a self-reported Likert scale where the participants kind of gauged what their motivation was. So, like I said, this study showed no relationship between work hours and motivation. So they went on to test out management style instead. So the participants were then split up into two groups. One group was given a lot more freedom and the chance to work amongst themselves, while the other group was subjected to strict management with specific orders being given from one person and not that much freedom. So, as I said, the study used a Likert scale to assess motivation through self-report, and there was actually a noticeable decrease in motivation for the workers in the group with increased freedom, meaning that those workers who actually had a little more say were a little more lost and didn't really have the motivation to finish the goals or the tasks that they were assigned or that they assigned themselves. So the study concluded, or the authors concluded, that effective planning and order can be crucial to a creative work environment. So finally, my proposed solution to the workplace, or to our workplace problem, is I think if we can create a more orderly and just an environment that shows the hierarchy a little more, then problems of miscommunication and possibly in this example here where Scott was a little demotivated by the fact that he didn't maybe know why he was not given the promotion over Miles. Perhaps this specification or outline of how would I say this? An outline of the responsibilities of the job description would kind of help out and make sure that these issues don't arise again. Okay, thank you.